Man, it really boggled my mind watching NXT last night and then getting the reaction from everybody after Ricochet and Pete Dunne had just concluded what was probably one of the best matches on all of WWE television this year. I knew the match was going to be fucking fantastic. I heard from people who were there. I heard from the people who were covering the show via the dirt sheets how great this match was and how great that, it came off there. They can imagine how great it's going to be on television with Mauro Ranallo calling the action. I heard so many good things about it. And when the match was over, I actually went on social media and all I simply put when, you're pretty much left speechless after something. I simply put Ricochet versus Pete Dunne, ... space, holy shit, in capital letters, ... that is all. Hashtag WWE NXT. In a week where we're fed Monday Night Raw, and we're fed SmackDown Live, and the bullshit that these shows just produce on a weekly basis with no logic, with logic gaps bigger than fucking anything you can possibly conceive, and just an overall feeling of you feeling like a fucking idiot after these shows. It was amazing to me how many people, after the match was over, wanted to complain. And I don't know why people wanted to complain. Oh, I'm disappointed in the ending. Oh, I seen this ending coming from a mile away. How predictable is NXT, etc., 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 blah, 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 blah. But the one thing that got me was, I am very disappointed in this ending. Let me ask you people something that everybody said you were disappointed, right? Everybody that came to me and said, I was disappointed in that ending to a match. What exactly were you disappointed over? What were you disappointed over? Were you disappointed that Ricochet just proved to you again something that I've already known and something that a lot of people have already known, that this guy is a future megastar in this company? And I mean that wholeheartedly, 100%. You look at AJ Styles now, and you look at Ricochet now. That is what Ricochet is going to be. Ricochet is going to be on the level of an AJ Styles when he is that age. And when it comes to that point in his career. Is that what you were disappointed over? Were you disappointed in Pete Dunne and the performance that he gave? What were you exactly disappointed about on behalf of Pete Dunne? What, were you disappointed that he gave a career-altering fucking match? A match that could easily have Pete Dunne bypass NXT UK, NXT, and SmackDown Live and put him right on Monday Night Raw, competing against Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns and Finn Balor and Kevin Owens, and we all know how bad that fucking show sucks, and I'm pretty much fantasy fucking, booking myself here, but you guys get the point. Or on SmackDown Live, Almas, Bryan, AJ Styles, Shinsuke Nakamura, Randy Orton, Rey Mysterio, now that he signed a 2-year deal with the WWE. Is that what you were disappointed over? What exactly were you disappointed about? Were you disappointed that on free fucking television? Now, I mean, $9.99, but it's basic NXT television. What were you disappointed over? The fact that you got an NXT TakeOver worthy main event on weekly WWE television for NXT. Is that what you were disappointed about? Or maybe you were disappointed about the fact that you got a North American Championship and a UK Championship defended in the same fucking match. Winner takes all. How many times do you see that actually occur on WWE television? Is that what you were disappointed over? Or let me guess, you were disappointed over the fact that NXT actually has titles that mean something and actually make the competitor wearing them better. And vice versa. Is that what you were disappointed over? Were you disappointed in the commentary job that Mauro Ranallo just fucking suckered you into and told a great story? Within minutes of that show going off the air, tweeted how honored it was for him to call a match like that. Is that what you were disappointed over? I don't get everybody complaining. You know, everybody wants to call me a hypocrite for things that I do. Where exactly am I hypocritical in basically anything that I do? My opinion is straightforward, to the point, and I give it to you how it is. You don't like it, you don't watch my fucking content. You hate me for whatever reason, fucking hate me. But the fact that people are coming to me negative over the fact, oh, I was disappointed in the ending. The fuck were you disappointed over? Nobody understands that everything, I mean this, I say this every week. Everything NXT does has a reason. What did you expect? Did you expect Ricochet to be the United Kingdom champion? Did you expect him to go to a show that doesn't even have a fucking television station to be on? NXT UK, they don't have a home yet. Did you expect him to be, well, yeah, let's pluck him out of NXT and have him do double duty and work both championships? Did you expect that? Did you expect Pete Dunne to win the North American Championship when he's not a part of the North American version of NXT? He's a part of the UK version. What did you exactly think was going to happen? Of course the match was going to end in a draw. That match was so fucking good, the ending should mean absolutely nothing to you. The ending of that match did one thing and one thing only. Outside of what I've already stated, that Ricochet's a megastar in this company, and Pete Dunne pretty much just showed you why, you know, the guy is better than NXT, and the guy needs to be on the main roster. Outside of that, this match did one thing and one thing only. It set up War Games. It set up War Games. Whether that includes Mustache Mountain or not. I don't know when Bobby Fish comes back, or if he's still going to be injured by the time November comes around. Whatever the case may be, it set up War Games. Whether it's Pete Dunne, Ricochet, and the War Raiders versus all four members of the Undisputed Era. Or it's Ricochet and War Raiders versus Pete Dunne, Tyler Bate, and Trent Seven versus Adam Cole, Kyle O'Reilly, and Roderick Strong. It set up War Games. So what exactly were you disappointed about? I think everybody needs to look at the bigger picture. A lot of people watch and immediately want to judge. You don't watch with thoughts of what's going to happen next week and the week after that. What is this leading to? Why did we get this ending? You're immediately on social media, oh, I'm disappointed. If anybody is using the word disappointment after what we got last night in the main event on NXT, maybe you shouldn't even be watching NXT. I can't tell you how frustrated I was with the amount of comments telling me, oh, I'm disappointed. Sit the fuck down. You're disappointed. NXT was built around this one match, and that's all that really mattered last night. That's all that really mattered last night. This was the final set of TV tapings for this particular block of TV tapings. And we got a fantastic main event that probably will be in the top 3 of WWE's best matches all year. And the top matches in WWE all year, pretty much the top 5 are going to be all NXT matches. What does that say about the quality of product that NXT is putting out? It says a lot. NXT last night, man. Ricochet takes on Pete Dunne in a champion versus champion winner takes all match. We had Aaliyah and Lacey Evans versus my bae, Deonna Purrazzo, and we had Dakota Kai teaming with Deonna Purrazzo. And then we had Jackson Riker in action. I hope most of you didn't fall asleep during that, because right after that was the main event of the show. But NXT last night, man, was fantastic. Fan-fucking-tastic. Dakota Kai and Deonna Purrazzo versus Lacey Evans and Aaliyah. This was just a basic tag team match here. This built off something that happened last week on last week's NXT TV. Apparently, Dakota Kai and I think it was Aaliyah arguing over something, and then Lacey Evans comes to interject, and they were in the lobby of Full Sail, and then Deonna Purrazzo comes over and says, "You got a problem over here? Do both of you have an issue?" So just based off that, a tag team match was made, and it was pretty much the heels overcoming the baby faces in this instance, and that's exactly what happened for the finish of this match. The heels overcame the baby faces. Lacey Evans and Aaliyah win by pinfall. Lacey Evans has been hot and cold on NXT TV. 1 week she's been pushed to the moon, or she looks like she's really going to be featured regularly on WWE TV here for NXT, and then we go several weeks without her being there, and, obviously, I think that's going to become less and less with the Mae Young Classic competitors coming on into NXT. We got Dakota Kai really coming into her own. I'm a big fan of Deonna Purrazzo. We have, who else is there? Bianca Belair, Candice LeRae is going to be there, Nikki Cross. So the field in NXT is really, really, really starting to be competitive. So, Lacey Evans and women like that and Aaliyah, they really need to step it up, because within the snap of a finger, they could be left behind. And you got 3, 4, 5, 6 women, plus the Mae Young Classic competitors that are probably going to come on into the performance and are leapfrogging them in rapid fashion. So you got to keep up, because competition right now, especially in NXT, is really, really, really up there. Evans dropped a knee on Purrazzo's arm. They worked on Purrazzo. Purrazzo tried to make the hot tag to Dakota Kai, in which she did. The leader of Team Kick went for that Sami Zayn Helluva kick-esque big boot that she does in the corner. Kai was just all over the place, running kicks, cover. Evans breaks it up. Evans with the blind tag on the outside here towards the end of this match, and she hits the women's right out of nowhere with the blind tag, covers Kai, and that is it. Lacey Evans and Aaliyah win via pinfall here. Very, very basic tag team match. A lot of people were texting me during the match that this was a sloppy tag team match, like the women in this match, particularly Lacey Evans and Aaliyah don't really have a concept of what tag team wrestling really is. So they need some work in that department. They're not really tag team wrestlers. I don't think they really have teamed up before. So this was just something as a throwaway to open the show up on the last set of TV tapings for this particular block of TV tapings. Velveteen Dream talks about, his momentum. He's talking to the media about his momentum after winning at TakeOver and then beating Johnny Gargano. Someone then asks Dream about the Alistair Black attack and who he thinks did it. And I literally LOL'd at Velveteen Dream here. He's like, you're trying to conduct an interview with the Dream and you want to ask about somebody else? And he walks away. I was absolutely LOLing at this point. That was fucking fantastic. He walks away like, so cocky, like, what, get the fuck out of here, man. You're asking me about myself and my momentum and beating EC3 and Johnny Gargano and possibly being the number one contender for the NXT Championship. And you're over here asking a follow-up question about Alistair Black, and you're not asking about the Dream. And he walks away, and he doesn't even give a shit. He walks away with his bandana and his glasses on. Absolutely great, man. Velveteen Dream is a fucking... He is so great at what he does, man. I love seeing him. One of the guys that I genuinely am so excited to see grow and mature, man. The guy is absolutely ready to print money. Fantastic fucking shit. Street Profits. They are outside. It looked like there was a thunderstorm in the background, and they were just coming from the basketball court. I don't know who was interviewing them during this particular segment, but it was a female voice. Be funny if it was Bianca Belair, since she's married to Montez Ford. Montez Ford was asked about the chains. Why did they care so much about the chains that TM61 tried to steal while wearing ski masks during their match with the Forgotten Sons? Montez Ford says that they just aren't chains. They have huge sentimental value to us. They are a symbol of our struggle and our success. So I really like the explanation that Montez Ford gave, because at the end of the day, it's something that could be replaced. But Montez Ford made it about, this was the first thing that we went and bought ourselves as the first taste of success, and this is just a sign of what is to come. We look at this, and this is where our beginnings were, and then they get into a beautiful red Camaro, and obviously you could see how successful they've become, you know, as the Street Profits and moving up the tag team ranks in NXT. That was a great explanation by Montez Ford. Simple, to the point, and it really gave you a background of what the chains mean to the Street Profits. And the chains are going to be a little aspect for their match whenever it happens with TM61. Everything is done with a reason, and everything is given an explanation in NXT. It's very difficult to not like this show. Bianca Belair and Nikki Cross, they pretty much replay what happened at the end of that match, and that spot where Nikki Cross got on the back of Bianca Belair and started to give Bianca Belair like a chokehold or a sleeper hold, and Bianca Belair had no way out of it, so like a fucking bug, squashes Nikki Cross and plants her right on the steel barricade. And they showed the post-match interview again with Bianca Belair, and how Bianca is saying Nikki is crazy, and if she wants to fight, I'm down, and just remember that I am undefeated. And it's going to be a great match, man. I think they had a very nice tease for what these two women could do there with, you know, Nikki Cross just, being thrown over the announce table, and Bianca Belair really getting involved with Nikki Cross in a chaotic way. I think it's got a lot of potential, and I can't wait to see what these two women could do in a full-fledged match. This ultimately is going to take Bianca Belair to the next level. Nikki Cross, there's nothing left for Nikki Cross to prove on NXT. This is Nikki Cross doing NXT a favor by, remaining there, building up someone who WWE clearly believes in, and Bianca Belair is fucking great. I can't wait to see what she does. We talk about Dream on the female side. Bianca Belair is ready to print money, man. She is on top of NXT right now. She's not even the fucking champion. She is on top for me in NXT. And Nikki Cross is primarily there to be building up talent before she moves on to, I hope, SmackDown Live. I really hope she moves to SmackDown Live, because they put her on Monday Night Raw, man. With Ronda Rousey being over there, she's going to end up like Ruby Riott, and she's going to end up just floating in a sea of mediocrity with nowhere to go and nothing to do. And, everybody's got to watch idly as the Ronda Rousey machine is just pushed down your throat as Women's Champion on Monday Night Raw. So, Bianca Belair and Nikki Cross, this is going to be a great match. Can't wait to see what these two women do. Jackson Ryker versus Humberto Carrillo. I don't know who this guy was, but he looked like he was fucking 12 years old. He looked like he was very athletic, but he looked like a fucking 12-year-old right out of grade school. So Humberto was pretty much used as a enhancement talent here. I think this is the first time we've seen Humberto on NXT. Jackson Ryker, big muscled up guy, former Impact superstar. Gunner was his name. I think I like Gunner more than I do Jackson Ryker. Jackson Ryker is the muscle of the Forgotten Sons. Very generic. He's got a lot of muscles. He's got a lot of tattoos. His entire back is covered with tattoos. A lot of muscles. Big grizzly beard. Looks like he could be part of the Saviors and be led by Negan. That's what I look at when I look at Jackson Ryker. But this was pretty much a squash, man. This was his NXT in-ring debut. And I look at these guys, and it's very difficult to think that these guys were on NXT, touring with NXT for about a year and a half. And this is the first we're seeing of the Forgotten Sons on NXT TV. So they really must have been forgotten. And Jackson Ryker, making his in-ring debut here, destroyed Humberto. He did a slingshot powerbomb, which looked very sloppy. The first half of it looked good. Slingshotted him off the top rope and then just kind of threw him around. He just threw him. No real rhyme or reason there. Powerbomb. It didn't look, fluid. It didn't look pretty. It was just a big guy throwing around a little guy, and the big guy looking dominant because he beat the little guy. That's all it was. Jackson Ryker wins, and the Forgotten Sons are off and running on NXT. I still have hope that at some point they will accumulate something that makes me interested in what they got, because right now, it ain't really doing anything for me. And the NXT Tag Team division right now is flourishing big time. So they got to do something to make themselves stand out when you're standing next to teams like Heavy Machinery, who got a lot of charisma, and the Street Profits, who got a ton of charisma, and the Undisputed Era, and then you got Mustache Mountain, even Oney Lorcan and Danny Burch. You know, it ain't going to be a walk in the park for the Forgotten Sons. If they don't do something to change and make people invested in what they got going on, they truly will be forgotten. William Regal. Very interesting. Very interesting, man. His interview this week was Candice LeRae. And she said that she's sorry she can't be more helpful in trying to nail down who attacked Alistair Black. Now, along with Kairi Sane and Cassius Ohno, they were all sitting at the table. I still think it's Cassius with the fucking facial expressions that he, exuded sitting down. He kind of just barely looked into the camera, but you seen his facial expressions were fucking very nasty. Now, if you're sitting next to two beautiful women, and Candice LeRae and Kairi Sane, you should be like all jolly. You're sitting down. You got some beautiful company with you. No, this guy looked like he just came from doing something that he shouldn't have been doing. So Candice LeRae is sorry that she can't be more helpful. She didn't see anything. She sat down with Cassius, she sat down with Kairi, and she didn't see anything. LeRae then says, with the attack that went down, it sounds like something Tommaso Ciampa would do. And Regal spoke with Ciampa, and Ciampa, I like Ciampa. Some weeks I call him Ciampa. Ciampa, he's the champion. And doesn't have anything concrete against Ciampa. Regal then asks if she had any proof of where Johnny Gargano was during the attack. She said that they are currently keeping their personal and work lives separate. But she ran down that he was, I guess, coming from the gym or coming from the weight room at that point. William Regal then thanks her and she is exited from William Regal's office. Now, I don't think it's Johnny, and I don't think it's Tommaso. I think Tommaso pretty much said that, listen, I didn't do it. Whoever did do it, I would like to meet this person, and I would like to thank them accordingly. Now, the door is open. The door is open still for Tommaso. It could end up being Tommaso. He's got a reason to attack Alistair Black. Tommaso even said that I had every intention of attacking Alistair Black because that's what I was going to do. Someone got there before I could get there. They're leaving the door open for Johnny. And they're leaving the door open via doorway to his wife. And the doorway is, or the little peek in the doorway, is her saying, well, I don't know where Johnny was. I don't know what Johnny Gargano was doing. Our work lives and our personal lives, when we're here, are separate. I don't know where he was going or where he was coming from, but all I know was that he was working out. And that was that. I still think it's Cassius Ohno. And I'm sticking to that. I hope it's not somebody that I have little interest in, because at this point right now, they're really making a big ordeal about this Alistair Black attacker. I don't know what's going to happen, but they certainly still have everybody's attention. And I love, even now, after what we've seen transpire before Brooklyn, I'm loving that WWE's keeping up the aspect of who attacked Alistair Black, and this is not something that's being swept under the rug. This is either going to be a disappointment or this is going to make someone's NXT career. Got to see what happens. But I'm still keeping my bet on Cassius Ohno. Backstage, we see Pete Dunne and Ricochet preparing for their upcoming main event. We get a little sneak peek, and the video package for this was fucking great. This was honestly NXT TakeOver main event worthy. And we see how everything came about. It was just fantastic fucking shit by whoever's in charge over there in NXT. It might be Kevin Dunn, I don't really know, but WWE's production team, again, just hit a fucking home run with getting you excited about Ricochet and Pete Dunne through visuals and that video package. Keith Lee. Keith Lee's going to be something fucking impressive, man. I'm watching this vignette about him being limitless. If WWE does not go all in with Keith Lee, they're missing out. The guy, another guy, in my honest opinion, you may look at Keith Lee and think he's a generic fucking indie guy with no personality. When I look at Keith Lee, I see someone that matches the size of what WWE's looking for, matches the size, but a guy that size should not be as athletic as Keith Lee. The guy is another fucking guy that's going to be printing money for this company, if booked the right way. He just has this aura about him. And this is what I got from this promo, that you need to be fucking watching what I'm going to be doing in this company. And I'm excited about Keith Lee, man. I really am. EC3 commented on the Alistair Black attacker. We seen, him saying that and him kind of pointing the finger at Lars Sullivan. They showed the attack by Lars on EC3. And EC3 just, his explanation was, listen, you got a monster roaming around the crime scene area wearing a bright yellow tap-out shirt, sticking out like a sore thumb, who has all the reason in the world to attack Alistair Black, because he broke his jaw, quote-unquote. So EC3 is kind of pointing blame at Lars Sullivan. Lars Sullivan said that, listen, if I attacked Alistair Black, I would have been standing over his broken body, kind of admiring my work. So Lars Sullivan says, I didn't do it. EC3 thinks that Lars Sullivan did it, but Lars says, I didn't do it. Lars Sullivan is going to be in action, and I'm assuming we're probably going to get EC3 versus Lars Sullivan headed towards TakeOver War Games. Otis Dojovic is booked next week in a match with Tommaso Ciampa and his new theme music. Should be interesting, man, to see what Otis can do as a singles guy against probably the one guy who is doing the best work out of anybody right now on NXT. The champ, Tommaso Ciampa. NXT North American Championship / NXT UK champion Pete Dunne. Title versus title, champion versus champion, winner takes all, man. This match was something to behold. Holy shit. Match started off slow. The match started off slow. We seen joint manipulation by Pete Dunne. We seen Ricochet trying to match wrestling holds with Pete Dunne. And I loved the fact that they even brought it up on commentary. I don't know who mentioned it. I don't know if it was Nigel or Percy. But I think one of them said that Ricochet is kind of doing what we didn't expect him to do. That he should be using his aerial techniques. And he should be using his aerial offense. And what brought him to the dance to try and beat Pete Dunne. Morrow then comes back and says, well, this is Ricochet showing you that he can do that and more. And whatever he's doing here, he's showing you that you need to start taking him seriously outside of what you already know from Ricochet. I love that. I think that was fucking great. And Ricochet was matching wrestling holds early on with Pete Dunne. We started to pick up the pace midway through this, man. There was a German suplex attempt by Ricochet. Dunne landed on his feet. Step up enziguri. Ricochet up. Kicks Dunne out of the ring. Ricochet was looking to just fly and runs along the apron, tries for a moonsault, lands on his feet, gets caught with a forearm, a sick forearm by Pete Dunne. We get the action back in the ring. Ricochet with a reverse Rana. And Morrow absolutely going fucking crazy at this point. I love Ricochet's reverse Rana. It looks great every single time. Pete Dunne landed wickedly on his head and his neck. Morrow with a very, very close near fall. Screams out, "Are you kidding me?" I don't know what these two men are made of, but holy shit, is pretty much what he said. Both wrestlers now trying to get back up on their feet. Ricochet with kicks to Dunne, enziguri by Dunne, followed up by a clothesline. Ricochet back up, goes for a handspring, ends up landing a DDT. Crowd going crazy. Crowd chanting these two guys, NXT. I hate the fight forever chant. I'm going to be completely honest with you. You know, I don't hate it all the time. I like it when it's used in a way where we've already seen 20 minutes of a great match and we've seen these guys fucking leave their souls out in the ring. But when the crowd starts chanting fight forever within 5 minutes of the match starting, you know, tone it down a little bit, please. At that point, I'll even admit you're fucking smart or marks. Fight forever, really? What have they done where it warrants a fight forever chant? Come on. So after that DDT, 2 count. Ricochet heads up to the top rope. Pete Dunne follows. Locks on the injured hand. Apparently, he was working on the hand and the arm of Ricochet. That was his focus during this entire match. Ricochet punches away, leaps off the top rope, hits a Hurricane Rana off the top rope. Axe kick by Ricochet. Ricochet plants Dunne with the axe kick. 2 count. Springboard 450. Dunne locks in a triangle submission. Ricochet with a powerbomb to break out of it. Dunne snaps Ricochet's fingers. Not once, but twice. Locks in a Kimura. Ricochet trying to fight out of it. Does. Deadlift brainbuster by Ricochet. And at that point during this match, in that spot where he's already been spent, the guy managed a deadlift brainbuster. Unfucking real. Both men completely fatigued, and you see it all over their bodies. And out comes Undisputed Era for a DQ finish. Now this match, I mean, everybody at this point was invested. Everybody proclaiming, oh, I'm disappointed in the ending, etc., etc. Post-match, Undisputed Era beat down Pete Dunne and Ricochet. Out come the War Raiders. No music. I loved it. The bell is ringing frantically like it does back in the old school days when there's an interference. War Raiders come out running down to the ramp. No music playing. You know who they are. They don't need any music to intervene in this match. They come down to the ring. Undisputed Era are chased off. They're by where Morrow has his commentary set up. And they're laughing and they're pointing at War Raiders. And they're like, ha ha ha, you didn't get us. War Raiders like, oh yeah, you want to laugh? They chased Undisputed Era right through the crowd into the back. And the Undisputed Era, man, laughing out loud, man. I loved it. Their facial expressions went from ha 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 to oh shit, we got to get the fuck out of here. So NXT went off the air with both men being given their titles. Crowd chanting NXT. Both of them looking fatigued, staring on at each other. And the screen fades to black. Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely fantastic main event, man. I can't even do it justice. I'm not even going to try and bother doing the match justice. This was absolutely a marvel to watch. One of the best matches on all of WWE programming all year. I urge you to go and watch this match if you have not done so. Please do so. That is your NXT review, man. Hope you guys enjoyed it. We'll be back next week, as always, covering the best. This is the A show during the week. NXT next week, man. New set of tapings, and we are inching closer and closer and closer to NXT TakeOver War Games. Nothing to be disappointed about, folks. Nothing to be disappointed about at all. I did watch 205 Live. I was not sure. Actually, I didn't know beforehand, before I tweeted, that if the show was taped after SmackDown Live and just airing on the WWE Network, or it was taped before SmackDown Live and they aired it on the WWE Network. Either way, the crowd was still fucking dead. The crowd taped beforehand or after the show made no difference. And that was a damn shame, because the main event of that show, we had Cedric Alexander defending Cruiserweight Championship against Drew Gulak. What a fucking great match, man. And the fact that that match was given no justice at all by that fucking Oklahoma crowd. Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. This show needs a better presentation. Okay? This show needs to be taped in front of Full Sail University. I don't give a shit what you got to do. I don't care how much extra money it's going to be. That show needs to be taped at Full Sail. You could tape it the same way you tape NXT. Tape it 4 weeks in advance. I don't see why these guys are going to be putting on matches like that and get no reaction. That is a fucking shame. And I wanted to watch 205. I cannot watch 205 Live. I can't. I want to watch Ali and Murphy and Cedric and Drew Gulak, who's just come into his own as a great fucking heel. And Hideo Itami. And everybody else that they got building on that show. Brian Kendrick. The Lucha House Party. Leo Rush. I can't watch that show knowing that that's the crowd we're going to get. A great crowd adds so much to a match. If I'm going to sit there for an hour and watch a dead fucking crowd, what is a 4-star match, 4.5-star match with those two guys and a dead crowd, I don't want any part of it. I can't. It's downright. I can't even find the word. It's like, it's pathetic. It brings it down several notches in my eyes when I'm watching at home. Tape it in front of Full Sail. I don't give a shit what you got to do. Do it. That show does not belong in front of those people. It will never be accepted by those people fully. And WWE is trying. And the only reason why the Cruiserweight Championship is on the line during Super Showdown is because Buddy Murphy is Australian. And he may end up winning the title in Australia. And with what the guy has done, as far as body of work goes, that's a perfect place as any to give him a championship. Cedric, you know, it's hit or miss with Cedric. Some people love him. He's fucking unbelievable in the ring. He's got a personality as bland as fucking vanilla ice cream. But I don't think that's his fault. He's just gotta be presented in a better way. They gotta find a way to just have him open up. But 205 Live needs to be done in full sale, man. I'm done watching 205 Live in front of those crowds. I can't do it. They do the show absolutely no justice. So I just wanted to mention that before I get the hell out of here. But I'll see you guys for the Mae Young Classic review. That'll be going up tomorrow morning. We'll do tomorrow morning Mae Young Classic coverage. Tony Storm, as always. And we got off the script tomorrow as well. So thank you guys so much. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that thumbs up. Please hit that thumbs up. I want to see as many thumbs up as possible on this review, man. It helps out the video. I have seen the growth and I've seen the better numbers come with more thumbs up and more comments. If you're watching it, if you enjoyed me on this particular review, hit that thumbs up. If you enjoy NXT, hit that thumbs up. Leave me a comment down below. Let me know what you guys thought. Sound off down below about Ricochet and Pete Dunne and where you guys see everything going with War Games coming up in Los Angeles. I'll see you guys later. And Mae Young Classic tomorrow, and then off the script as well tomorrow night, as always. Thank you so much. Enjoy your Thursdays, and I'll see you guys tomorrow with more content right here on the channel. I'll talk to you later.